It's now time for another review from the Armies of the Hobbit for the Middle-earth strategy battle game. Hello and welcome to yet another video here on the YouTube channel SCF Wargaming Studio. My name is Andreas Norwegian Viking and this is my review from the Armies of the Hobbit. It is the Iron Hills army list. So the Iron Hills has long time been my favourite aesthetic looking army of the new line of models from Forge World. And since every single model for this army is made by Forge World, it can carry that simple aesthetic through. And yeah, I bought so many models for this army, but I've sadly not painted a single one of them. And I had hoped for a couple of months where I could work on this army and paint every single model. I think there's a couple of almost 100 models now for this army to paint, but or even more, 24 Ghost Riders with dismount, so that's 48 models just there. But yeah, I'll look for a scheduled space where there's not much more to paint for the Grand Campaign, and try to do justice to my Iron Hills army. But for now, let's see the changes. So the Iron Hills can historically ally with the Army of Thor, Lothlorien and the Survivors of Lake Town. They have convenient allies with the Army of Lake Town, Erebor Reclaimed, Fangorn, Lothlorien, the Misty Mountains, Radagast Alliance, Rivendell, Thorin's Company and the White Council. Their army composition has Dane Ironfoot, Lord of the Iron Hills, Iron Hills Captain Murin and Draw, that's a new one, Iron Hills Dwarves, Iron Hill Goat Riders, Iron Hill Chariots and Iron Hill Ballista. Their army bonus is Ironfoot has come. In scenarios where you roll for additional forces to arrive, such as that use the reinforcement rule, you may modify your own reinforcement rolls for warbands from this army list by plus or minus 1. In scenarios where you roll to see which part of the board your army is deploying, you may modify dice rolls of plus 1 or minus 1. So this is an awesome special rule. It's the one they had in There and Back Again, and I feel like this is a very key thing for them to have. They can choose and yeah, get devastating charges in with the chariots from turn 1 basically. Additionally, Dane Ironfoot, Lord of the Iron Hills, receives Master Battle Rule on a 4+. So I guess you roll for this at the beginning of the game before anything is done, and he basically gets on a 50-50% chance that he gets Master Battle for free. Speaking of the Lord himself, he is unchanged in almost all aspects. He has now gained Hero of Legend, so he can lead 18 models, and I would like them all to be Goat Riders because that's just awesome. And he's got Heroic Resolve, March, Strike, Strength and Challenge for his special actions. So not much to say about the Dane Ironfoot. People ask me if he's undercosted. Yes and no. As soon as he kills a model, he must charge. So if you tactically can change directions for him, you can potentially just make him go away by luring him to flank or something like that. So yeah, he's strong. He's very, very strong, but he does have disadvantages you can take advantage of as a evil or your opponent. Basically conga line some troops that will die and just shield and hope you win to gain a couple of extra turns. Could be really, really cool. So Murin and Draw are up next. They're of course from the Iron Hills, total GW creation. And they are represented in the Armies of the Lord of the Rings as Wanderers in the Wild, and they're not really different at all from where I went with them, from where I reviewed them then. So if you want to have a complete look at Murin and Draw, go and check out the army review for the Wanderers in the Wild. For the Iron Hill Captain, he's the same amount of points. He's a hero of fortitude, so he can lead 12. So the Master Battle 5+ rule, as it's now said, was tactical awareness. So it has really just changed to Master Battle, as that has become a generic rule throughout, and he has access to, as all captains, Heroic March. The warriors themselves, the warriors of the Iron Hills, has not changed at all. Still the same amount of points, still the same stat line, and the same kind of weaponry allowed. No changing wording, as I could see. But for the Iron Hill Goat Riders, there has been a change, and I feel like this is more of a cleanup than a real change, because previously the Iron Hill Goat Rider themselves had the Mountain Dweller and Devastating Charge rule. So now that those two rules that particularly go to the models that are mounted on goats are now included in the goats profile. So so you now have the Mountain Dweller, which is given by the goats, is now on the goats, and Devastating Charge is now on the goats. So it's less confusing, and it should be like this, because previously you could argue that neither captains nor the heroes you can place on the Goat Riders or the goats themselves had Mountain Dweller or the Devastating Charge rule. Weirdly enough, but now you can. Now they're included in the actual profile for the Raw Goat. The Iron Hill Ballista is unchanged bar one thing. It's got a Siege Veteran, so it has a 3 point to might, which is fantastic. And the Iron Hill Chariot. So this is basically 4 pages of rules. I've gone through it with as much of a fine-tooth comb I could. Only real changes I've seen is that the Iron Hills Captain has gotten a points reduction of 5 points, which you could put on an Iron Hills Chariot, and across the rest of the board it's just clarifications. It's generally just like wording changes here and there and slight differences, but nothing that makes the Iron Hills Chariot behave in a different manner than it already should be. It just puts in an FAQ, I think, into this. And as well, the Champions variable part of it has also been slightly clarified. So that is the changes to the Iron Hills. Not a lot of changes, and but I feel like the Iron Hills themselves, without any more bits added onto them, can function as a proper army way onto themselves. I've played Iron Hills multiple times, played against them, that is, both in campaign and narrative play, well, and competitive play I should say rather, and they are just formidable. I really think they are one of the most characterful dwarf armies for this game, and perhaps any other game. So I really like them, and I know there's a lot of Iron Hill players out there, so if you play Iron Hills, if you wonder about playing Iron Hills, tell them in the comments. So next week I say, probably later on today or tomorrow, we'll review Erebor Reclaimed. So that's of course the champions of Erebor. So join us for that. Until then, I've been Andreas the Norwegian Viking, and this was my review of the changes for the Iron Hills in the Hobbit, Armies of the Hobbit book for the Middle-earth Strategy Battle game. Please comment, like, share and subscribe, and do consider supporting STF on Patreon using the link in the description below, as it is a fantastic way for you to support our efforts here on the channel, and it gives us monetary means to expand, improve and give you more cool videos each and every week. So if that's at all interesting, click the link, but more importantly, support your hobby.